Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So excited to have you back, or to have you for the first time. Welcome. As you can see by the title, these are the 10 ways that I knew my partner was the one for me. And if you have been watching my other videos, you know that I married my high school sweetheart just under 3 months ago, back in June. Amid 2020, we did have a little bit of an elopement style wedding, so I actually will link that video up here so that you can check that out and just kind of see part of our story. We actually did get married on our 11-year anniversary, which was really sweet, kind of a silver lining to our big wedding getting, I'm not gonna say canceled because we're hoping that we can still have it next year, but who knows where the world will be. But we've been together over 11 years now, and so I obviously knew that my partner was the one for me at a very young age, and because of that, I think I've learned through our relationship, you know, how I deserve to be treated, how I feel everybody deserves to be treated in a good relationship. And so, I don't know, I just had so much fun reflecting on all the ways that I love my partner, all the ways that he shows that he loves me. I firmly believe that everybody, whether you're 15, you're 50, you're 80, somewhere in between, we all get to a point where we want to find a life partner and someone that can just make the good days feel even better and the bad days feel okay. And you might not be at that point yet. You might be like, I am living my life, I do not need a partner, and I am so here for that, okay? But I just believe that finding a partner in life is one of the greatest gifts. And so I'm so fortunate that I found my partner when I was 15 years old. And I think we've been together so long that I've just had the chance to really learn what I deserve, what I feel everybody deserves in a great relationship. And so whether you are someone that's in a relationship and kind of evaluating and doing some soul searching on if this person is the one for you, maybe this will help you, or maybe you're out doing your own thing and not looking for someone, as mentioned before, but you end up finding someone that has some of these qualities, or someone that is making you feel the way that I'm going to talk about in this video. Maybe it can be helpful for you. And if it's just helpful for one person, it's good enough for me. I've said that in other videos and I mean it. So I'm really excited to get into this video. And so let's get into it, shall we? We shall. Okay. So the first way that I know that my partner is the one for me is because he's never judged me ever. I have truly never, in my entire 11-something years of being with him, have I felt judgment. I think that in the world there's so much judgment that there's no room for that in your relationship. Jonathan definitely does not agree with all the decisions that I make, and he definitely wouldn't prefer that maybe I do some of the things that I choose to do, or beliefs that I have, or whatever it is, but he's never judged me for them. Your partner should be someone that's in your corner and is supporting you, even if you're in a period of growth where, again, you're not doing things that your partner's super proud of or whatever it is. There's just no room for judgment, and I stand firm in that in any great relationship. I just feel that if you're being judged by the person that you're hoping to spend the rest of your life with, what is that going to do to you in the long run? Is it going to change you from being who you're supposed to be? Is it going to make you into a person you're not going to be proud of? I just think there's no room for judgment in a great relationship. So the next point on my list is that he encourages me to be a better version of myself. I think that obviously we've been together so long that we are not even the same people that we were when we started dating back in 2009. We were freshmen in high school, sophomores in high school. I just think no matter what age you start dating someone, you're always growing as a person constantly. The world is shaping us every single day, and you should be with someone that is encouraging you to be a better person. And so that's definitely a second way that I knew he was the one for me, because he constantly is pushing me to be a better version of me. He's not pushing me to be someone else that he wants me to be. He's pushing me to be a better version of who I am already. So I think that's really important. Okay, so next point on my list is a little bit confusing, but let me explain. Number 3 is that we go to bed angry sometimes. What, Courtney? What? This point is kind of specific to our relationship, but I think it can be adapted to other people. So we go to bed angry sometimes, and I think this is a way that I knew he was the one for me early on, because we're told, right, whenever we're looking for advice from other people, maybe older generations, people that have already been married for a long time, what is your greatest piece of advice? And almost everyone will say, never go to bed upset. And so in our relationship, going to bed upset sometimes works because I sometimes need to sleep off my own anxieties, my own feelings of sadness, my own whatever it is. We have an argument and I need to just sleep it off. I'm a morning person. I'm someone that has better conversations over a cup of coffee in the morning than when I'm really upset at nighttime. And so Jonathan has always understood that if we're in an argument and we'll go to bed upset. We'll say I love you, but we'll go to bed upset and we'll talk about it in the morning. And the reason I'm bringing up this particular example is because it kind of stems into other parts of our relationship where sometimes I'm in a bad mood and Jonathan has to read that and know to just give me some space. And sometimes I don't want to talk because I'm going through something personally, whether it's with my job, with my friends. He knows to give me space and we don't always have to talk it out immediately. And so I hope this all makes sense. What I'm trying to say is that no one's perfect, and we're told in life that there is such a perfect recipe for relationships. And I would just say take that recipe and scratch off some of the ingredients and write in your own freaking ingredients and figure out what works for you. Go to bed angry if you need to, as long as you make sure that you have a conversation in the morning. Don't talk with your partner for an hour if you're going through some stuff and you need to internalize that and deal with it on your own before you take it out on them, because that could do more damage anyway if you're taking your anger out on your partner that is just misdirected. So again, third on my list, we go to bed angry sometimes because we have more foundational, formative conversations in the morning. And that works for us, and he's learned to make that work for him, even though he would probably prefer to have conversations at nighttime just to get them over with, feel good, go to bed. So make up your own rules in your relationship and be with someone that's willing to do that too. All right, so the next point is that he makes me laugh all the time. I am not kidding you. He is the funniest person that I know, hands down. Do not tell him I said that. Do not tell him I said that. I don't know, but for me, I need to be with someone that is making me laugh all the time. We are laughing constantly. Like, he is funny and I'm obviously hilarious. So we laugh all the time, and humor is so important to me. And I do believe that what you value in your childhood, it needs to be important in your relationship too. And I'm just a goofball. I'm someone that has always brought humor to my relationships with other people, and I love making people laugh. I love people who make me laugh. You're literally a happier human being when you're laughing all the time. So that's a way that I have just learned through our relationship that Jonathan's definitely the one for me, because no one else makes me laugh like he does. He's a crazy person, but I love him for it. So that's definitely something that's important to me. And if it's important to you in your relationships, make sure you're with someone that's constantly making you laugh. Don't always take each other so seriously is such a big piece of advice. I think that's a better piece of advice than don't go to bed upset. Don't take each other so seriously. That is the key to a great relationship, in my opinion. Take it or leave it, okay? Next point on the list is that we have the same values but different perspectives. And so allow me to elaborate on that. I think that it is so important to be with someone that values you. We've already covered that, right? They value the person that they are. They value the person that you are. They value, you know, who you are meant to become. But they don't have to see the world the same way as you. And I truly believe that you should be with someone that does not have all the same perspectives, life experiences, views as you do, because then you're never learning from that person. I love Jonathan because he questions the way that I perceive situations all the time. He's like, tell me why you think that way though, or let me ask you this question and kind of challenge your thought process. And I love that. I love that we're constantly making each other better by challenging the way that we see situations. And so at the end of the day though, we have the same values. We respect each other. We respect the way each other feels. And we're able to have really hard conversations sometimes to challenge each other. And I just think that's so important. I think that if you're with someone that sees the world a different way than you do, it allows you to navigate the world empathetically and navigate your life empathetically. And I just love that I'm with someone who does challenge me in that way and still values me at the end of the day. I never feel that even if we have a difference in opinion on something that I'm not being valued and I'm not being heard. My opinion's still being respected. He just respectfully disagrees. Next on my list is that he genuinely loves and respects every single one of my friends. I think this is a big deal in a relationship. I think that it is so important to be with someone who not only is kind to the people in your life that he meets or she meets. I think that for me, it's so important that Jonathan always takes the next step to really get to know all of the people in my life. He genuinely loves all of my friends. A lot of my girlfriends are his best friend. And granted, we have been together a very long time, so it's pretty natural, right? So I understand if your partner doesn't know a lot of the people that you grew up with or that you know, you've met throughout your life. It's normal to have your partner not be best friends with those people. I'm just very lucky. But that being said, even people that I've, you know, met in the last few years through work or through different life experiences, he genuinely wants to get to know them, or he asks me questions about them so that he can get to know them even though he's never met them. Half of my friends at work he's never met, but he knows all about them because he cares to ask me. And so I think that as long as you are with someone who cares about the people in your life and makes an effort to either grow a relationship with them or just get to know them is so important, because the people that matter to you should matter to your partner. And your friendships are arguably the most important part of your life. Yes, your partner is, but my friends are the world to me. And so I do think it's so important that your partner cares about them as much as you do. So that's just another reason on my list that I know Jonathan is the one for me, because he loves my friends. And my friends are great, so he should love them. And that's how everyone should feel, right? Next on my list is, you know, in that same grain, he loves and respects my family. So again, we've been together a long time. I'm not trying to disregard that. So he grew up with my family. I grew up with his family. They've always been my second family. But regardless, your partner should invest in creating really strong relationships with your family. I just believe that that is so important. That sets you up for success long term, because family is family and family is forever. So you should always love and care for your partner's family. But it seems simple and straightforward. Of course I'm going to do that, but I know through my own experience, I have come across a lot of people that don't get along with their partner's family, and it just causes such issues in the relationship. So just from the beginning, value the family, make an effort to really get to know them, make small gestures of kindness to show that you respect them, you're grateful that they created your partner. So I just think it's important to really get to know the people that made your partner into who he is or who she is. And so that's just been really important for me and important for our relationship, and it's just another reason on my list. Next is that we give and take. So this is difficult for a lot of people, and honestly, I think that people don't give themselves enough grace when they're being selfish. And I think that's a big hurdle to get over in a relationship, is to really know that it is okay for you to be selfish in a relationship, and it is okay for your partner to be selfish. You cannot always be 100% all the time. You can't. You might have had a really hard work week and you're exhausted, so you can't pick up the house. So you're at 50% that day, your partner picks up the slack, or you are just going through a period where you want to create a YouTube channel and it's taking a good amount of your time outside of your regular job, and you're not able to do certain things with your partner, and your partner just understands that. I'm just saying that it's okay for you to focus on things that are important to you. I think that's one challenge that we face in our relationship for being together so long, that you, from when you're 15 to when you're 26, which is what we are now, you go through a lot of periods of life where you are trying to figure out who you are as a person, and the things that you're passionate about and the goals you set are challenging, and you need to understand that your partner is experiencing all those things too. And so it's okay to have those selfish periods of time, because you love your partner and you want to encourage them to take on those challenges and, again, pick up the slack in your relationship, whether that's emotional slack. I know that, I mean, honestly, for us, Jonathan went through 3 years of law school, and I had to kind of put some of the things that I was passionate about on hold to make sure that I was picking up the slack around the house, getting the bills paid, whatever it is. And I'm not even trying to just like use a specific example, because there's been plenty of times where I've needed him to pick up the slack. And so I am just grateful that I have a partner who allows our relationship to have that give and take. I think it's so important and instrumental to a great relationship. So I'm really grateful that we have that. Okay, so this next point on my list, I feel as though may be controversial, but allow me to explain myself first, okay? So the next point on my list is that he asks for my opinion. Now, I know it is 2020 and I am a woman and my opinion matters, okay? That is not the point here. The point is that there are a lot of decisions that you make throughout your life, right? You decide what outfit you're wearing in the morning. You decide what trips you're gonna take that year. You decide what career path you're gonna go on. And so what I've learned to love about Jonathan is that he always asks my opinion on his own decisions. Things that he does not need to ask my opinion on, like the 3 examples I just said. We are separate people, we're separate individuals, and our opinions differ in a lot of ways, and our choices are our own, but he still comes to me and seeks my thoughts on either the smallest decisions he has to make or the biggest ones, and that matters to me. And I think in a relationship, if you're with someone that's never asking you how you feel about certain things, asking you your opinion on certain decisions, especially big ones that your partner's making, again, that they can make on their own, I think that's a red flag. I think that if you're with someone that's not caring to ask you how you feel about certain choices that they're making outside of ones that directly impact you, it might be a little bit of an issue. I don't know. That's just me. And listen, a lot of times he asks for my opinion and then he does the complete opposite, and that's his choice to make. Good for you, buddy. So again, I love that he asks for my opinion. He cares what I have to say, and I've loved that he has always made me feel that I should weigh in on his decisions. So all right, so last point on my list is that Jonathan is my best friend first. And you probably already gathered that from our other videos if you've watched them, but we are best friends at the end of the day. We have so much fun together. We can literally do anything and have the best time. And I do believe that your partner should be your best friend. All the other points that I made might not work for you. You might be able to work around them and they might not be deal breakers, but I stand very firm in the fact that your partner should be your absolute best friend. Now, my girlfriends are my best friends too, for many other reasons, but Jonathan is my best friend, and he makes me so happy, and he makes life exciting. Every single day is new with him, and I think that's important. I grew up in a house where my parents have always been best friends first, always. Friendship is just what was so evident in their relationship. I grew up in that way. I loved my dad because he was my mom's best friend, and I just always looked up to that relationship. My parents have been together 30 years now, and I just think that's super important. I think that your partner should be your best friend first. And so that is 10 on my list, and that is number 1 in my heart. And so I hope that these 10 reasons that I know Jonathan is the one for me were helpful to you, or they were just fun to hear and learn about our relationship, whatever it is. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I do just want to point out that in a relationship that is very long-term, especially when you start really young, you get questioned a lot. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've gone through chapters of my life where people said, wow, you've been with him that long. Can you really live? Do you really know who you are if you're with just one person that long? Don't you want a period of time to have some freedom and X, Y, and Z, and all fair questions, right? And I just want to say that if you are someone that's been with your partner for a very long time, you can still live your fullest life. Who you're with is not a weight that you carry. It's not a downfall. Who you're with is someone that is supposed to be lifting you up, letting you be who you want to be. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced that, if you've been with someone for a long time, from a young age specifically, but you can definitely be with one person and still be exactly who you're supposed to be. And you also can be with multiple partners, multiple relationships, and be the best version of yourself too. I think that once you find the right one, you'll know. And we just knew at a really freaking young age. And look at us now, you know? So hopefully, again, this was really helpful to at least one of you. And if you're out there just doing your own thing, you're not looking for a partner, keep going. You are your own person, and if you're growing in all these beautiful ways, keep doing that. But I do hope that at one point you find someone that treats you in all the ways that you deserve to be treated. And if you're with someone and all of these points reaffirm to you that they're definitely the one for you, that's awesome too. Let me know in the comments if any of this applies to you, or if it's helpful for you, or if you're re-energized to go out in the world and find your life partner. I think that rocks. So thank you all so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in the next video.